Do you have foot pain? Hey, sometimes we can all deal with a little foot pain. And sometimes it depends on, obviously the flexibility, right, of the tissues in your feet, but also like what we put on our feet, right? The shoes. There's so many styles of shoes out there. Awesome Jordans. We got like super cool, what do you like?
I love shoes. I love all types of shoes.
So
High
many brands.
heels.
High heels. So many brands, so many
Nikes.
brands. But what happens is like sometimes these shoes that are so stylish and so cool oftentimes start to kind of mess up the way that our feet are naturally supposed to be, right? So like if you have kids, right, when they're born, like look at their feet, right? And they're like really spread out and they look very different. As you go through life, you start putting your feet into different style shoes, flats and things that are very narrow, and sometimes that causes like deformities in the foot, like bunions. Sometimes we start to see, our toes kind of start to crinkle up a little bit. Our joints start to get compressed, and then our feet don't really move as well as they should, and they kind of adapt to the earth as well as they should. And how many of us walk around barefoot now? Like, I do, right? But do you, right? So Edna and I are going to basically, just kind of share some tips and what our opinions have been from just transitioning from tight, narrow shoes to like now wider based shoes, right? So let's pull out like the first narrow based shoe, right? So grab yours, got mine, right? So boom, awesome, Stacey Adams, black on black, you know what I mean? What you got there?
I have this unique cone design by Target.
Definitely, cone design, right? So what this could be possibly doing to your feet is definitely smashing them up and really compressing all of those joints in the foot, and you're not really getting any good bending from those toes, when you're in these things daily. I can understand maybe for like a wedding event or something cool, quinceañera or whatever, just want to have a nice date with your doll, right? Like this is cool for sure, right? But every day?
That's painful.
How do your feet feel when you wear these?
Well, I don't wear those, but when I wear these spiky suedes for an entire day, I feel like my toes are just contracted and like they don't have that range of motion that they should have. And I always end up feeling pain right here in the big toe. And I feel like I'm almost walking flat because like these not only are cone shaped, but they don't have any good support. So I'm always like holding on to my shoe as I walk, and not only that, like my foot just falls flat on the ground like a just heavy muscular blob, and not really supporting any of the arch or engaging any of my muscles. So
yeah, so that goes back to, okay, well, if we're not stretching and exercising our feet, good job, we will have complications because the shoes that we're wearing, again, cause some of those deformities, and again, you don't function properly under dysfunction, right? So another common shoe is like some running shoes, right? We got some nice Mizunus here. These are the first shoe that I bought when I ran my first half marathon in Austin, Texas. Beautiful scenery, put some great mileage on these, but an everyday shoe, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, look at this big old heel cushion here, right? There's a lot of padding, right? There's also just a very narrow kind of toe box as well in this shoe. It's not so wide. And
is the padding bad though?
The padding is not the best because it doesn't let you feel the ground. Like it's kind of like you're just walking on foam pads all day.
Cloud 9 all day.
And your feet aren't getting the natural, it's called proprioception, which are just like little sensors on the bottom of your feet that help your brain kind of alert where you're at. You know, like when you step on a rock or something like that, you're like, you feel it right away, right? Because those are the sensors, right? Putting high mileage in shoes like this and then wearing them every single day, they could possibly weaken the feet. Do you have anything like this in your stash there or no?
Not. I mean, I do have something with a heel, and like you're right, this one provides a lot of cushion. However, I think I've gotten away from a lot of those shoes because anything with a heel, I feel like it almost brings me forward. So I try to always go with flat designs.
Flat design. And that's a really cool shoe. It's like a cross training shoe.
It's stretchy.
Stretchy, right? Hashtag get stretchy. But she bought that shoe because it had a wider toe base, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and bring that up again one more time.
My toes?
No, your shoe. So it has like a wide, you know, if I were to put my hand, the shoe kind of covers it up, right? So that's pretty cool. And now we're kind of going to transition into something that, in my opinion, and that I've felt actually really organically help my feet, is transitioning to like a barefoot style shoe. This is a Vivo barefoot shoe, super awesome. It's super wide, it almost looks like a clown shoe. It's really big, super thin, super bendable. It's actually made of plastic. These are my work shoes. These are the shoes that I spend like 9 to 10 hours a day in. Yeah, because it's like I'm literally just barefoot all day, and I feel the ground. I'm getting all that proprioception going, and it's really awesome. But you can't just transition from shoes like this. Bust out, do you have any heels there? Shoes like this, right? To this. Like, it's gonna take a little bit of some stretching of the feet, a little bit of some strengthening of the toes, and that's exactly what Edna and I are gonna demonstrate in a bit. But one more thing, going back to the heel, I forgot about this one here. Ladies, does this look familiar? This is a crazy cool style of an awesome heel that you may wear to go out and stuff, but sometimes we can wear these every single day. I've met people who wear heels every single day, and I mean, they're cool, they're stylish, but they're messing up the feet, right? I'm pretty sure, ladies, for those of you who wear these every single day, if you look down, your toes are probably, your big toes probably like curving inward, and your feet have probably kind of mashed up a little bit. So we're gonna show you kind of how to spread those joints out and kind of help maybe get some relief going, because I know spending a lot of time in these can do some damage to the foot structurally, and you have to be in pain. So we're gonna show you some recovery techniques right now that are pretty simple and pretty easy to do, okay? So thank you for your shoe explanation.
Yes.
Alrighty, so recovery tip number 1, after you're wearing the heels, right? Go ahead and maybe get yourself some toe spreaders, right? So I know, ladies, you all do your toes, you're getting those toes nice and clean, right? Put those toe spreaders on and make sure that you wear that for at least 5 to 10 minutes. I know it's a long time, but you can be wearing that on, you know, while you're watching TV or finishing up some computer work, right? And what that's doing is it's spreading out all the joints in the foot there that have been compacted, right, and crashed all day, right? So right there, nice toes, right? So if you want to make this a little more dynamic, we'll have Edna kind of stand up, right? If you just don't want to be just wearing them, you can go ahead and get into a split stance. And then that back foot, just go ahead and kind of bend it, right? Like up and down, forward, and then bring the heel all the way down to the ground. And basically what she's doing is just getting toe extension, right? And just really, watch the balance there. Just getting those joints to move in a very different way rather than very compacted and crushed, okay? So that's recovery tip number 1. Recovery tip number 2, you'll pull the toe spreaders out and just see if you can move your toes around. So let's see if we can keep the big toes on the ground and then pick up the small toes. Woo. Woo! And then reverse it, right? See if you can pick up that big toe, right? And what that is there is by us just kind of moving the toes around and spreading them out, right? Are actually going to help us, right? All right, y'all. Peace out. We'll see ya.